I got an interesting comment from a viewer recently, and I thought I would share it with all of you because I think it is something we all think about from time to time. So here's what they said: I've quit art for good after many years of trying. It is obviously simply a talent and cannot be learned. I don't care what people say, it is a truth. The only people who say it is a skill are people that are talented. Another truth. Wow. Well, I responded by saying, it can feel like that at times. I think this is a great comment, and one that many can identify with, including myself. I may make a video on this. Thanks. They replied by saying, thank you for the comment back. I'll look forward to seeing your video if you decide to do it. So, here is that video. First of all, I think this comment is one that many can identify with, and it doesn't only relate to drawing as a skill. I think this relates to many different things in life. I know for myself, I've learned the guitar, but wanting to get to that next level, it just seems like there is this special sauce that I am missing that is kind of like a ceiling over me, just preventing me from getting any further. And meanwhile, I watch other people just effortlessly make that leap. In drawing, for sure, because this is a drawing channel, there is that temptation. You make progress, and then you reach a point where it seems like your progress has stalled out, while others just seem to breeze on past. So let's talk about this. Is there some special sauce? Is there some correct gene? Like, exactly what is it, and do we have what it takes? I think for myself, I have always thought of myself as a fast learner. However, recently I've been having more and more opportunities to see how others learn, quote unquote. And I'm starting to question that label that I have given myself of being a fast learner. I am finding that I'm not necessarily a fast learner. I am more like just a really obsessive learner. I tend to hyper focus on things and really obsess over it and spend every waking moment on it. It turns out I may just be a fast learner because I do more learning attempts in, let's say, 1 week than the average person does. At least this is for the things that I actually want to learn. When I really want to learn something, I really go after it. And I realize that others aren't really doing that. You know, they really want to learn something, they express they really want to learn it, but they're just not putting in or putting out the same amount of effort, the same amount of time, the same amount of hours of practice. So I'm not sure if I am a fast learner or just a very obsessively committed learner. But whatever it is, to this commenter's point, it's still not something I chose to be. This is just who I am. This is just the way my brain functions. And so, in this sense, I think the commenter is actually kind of correct. We don't get to choose our character traits. And as humans, we are all just slightly different, and the ability to learn to draw, no doubt, follows the same standard bell curve of distribution that we've probably all seen everywhere. And at one end are those who will pick up drawing really fast, but it's a really small minority of persons. And in the middle, there are all the regular people. And at the other extreme, it's probably those that will have a really, really difficult time learning to draw. So let's talk about this a bit, all right? And see if this kind of fits into the commenter's point, and let's see how this relates to me and you and our learning experience. So, there are those at one end of the spectrum, just a small minority, who are just good at learning to draw. I mean, almost no matter what they do, almost no matter what path they take, they will be amazing. If this is you, well, good on you. Enjoy your lottery winning. And then, of course, as we said, there's this large group of persons in the middle. The good news is that most persons are in the middle. And myself, I'm in the habit of not thinking of myself as special. So my base assumption is that I fit somewhere with the regular people. And probably you should, and probably you do fit right here as well. The problem for the people in the middle is that right now we are so connected and we're so constantly being exposed to the small percentage of people at the very elite special end that we kind of get discouraged and just think that's how everyone is. And although they are small as a percentage of the total of all the people, when we look at that percentage as a number, it seems like it's everyone. And well, that's because those are the people we end up seeing. you don't really end up seeing the people in the middle because the way our algorithms and life is set up is that only those who are at the top get seen. So, it may turn out that you won't be a superstar artist tomorrow, or even by the next year, or the next. As a matter of fact, as a tangent, I was listening to Peter Hahn on one of his streams, and he was asked in 2 years if he thinks that someone could become a professional artist if they really tried, and like gave it their all. And he said he doesn't think that it's a realistic dream. Now, he says that he doesn't think this means that nobody can do it, but he said he thinks this would be a really, really hard thing to accomplish. Hey, drawing is hard. Art is hard. And the problem of us in the middle, us regular folks, is mainly twofold. One, our expectations are skewed. We really don't know what it took for others to get to the top. We don't know if they're in the small percentage at the top. We don't know if they are persons in the middle who just fought their way through. We just don't know the stories. And then our second problem is that we feel stupid because the concepts for drawing and art are so simple and we understand them, but we just can't execute them. And we feel frustrated. And we give up. But you can learn to draw if you're in the middle, but it may not come easy. It's likely doable, and over a long enough period of time, you probably will get there. But now there are those people on the other extreme where, due to no fault of their own, drawing will be very difficult to learn, maybe even sometimes impossible. It's just facing the facts that there will be some people who fall into this category. Now, I know personally there are some people who just can't stand to even think about the idea of sitting quietly for hours and doing something alone for almost any period of time. Let's just be real. And this may be you. And if it is, drawing may be very difficult or almost impossible for you to learn. But it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to break this down for you. You see, the fact that you have reached this far in the video means that there is something drawing you. See what I did there? Something drawing you. Something drawing you to do this. The question is, the most important question is, can you find joy in drawing and painting or art or whatever you're doing? If you're not the exception of the small group of people way up at the top that have an easy time, this is probably the most important question, the most important thing for you to find in drawing and painting, and I will explain why. So, here are the questions you need to ask yourself, and then I will show you why none of this matters. So, in drawing, you can ask yourself these three questions. I'm sure there are a lot more questions you can ask yourself, but here we go with these three. What if you're never amazing? Do you still want to learn to draw? What if you are never one of those artists who people look up to? Do you still want to learn how to draw? What if you are never in the space where you can compete for the top positions in art? Would you still want to learn to draw? I think these are three very key questions, and they all point to, do you actually enjoy drawing? Because here's the thing. If you enjoy drawing and it's fun for you, these questions become almost non sequiturs. They don't matter for anything. Let me demonstrate this for you, because you may still have questions in your mind. Many people play video games and spend a whole lot of time doing so. And you will imagine that there is still this same bell curve where there are some people who are really good at it. There are all the people in the middle, and there are people who just suck at playing video games, all right? Now let's ask them these same three questions. What if you're never amazing at playing video games? Do you still want to play it? What if you end up never being one of those gamers that people look up to? Maybe watch them on Twitch. Do you still want to play the game? What if you are never able to compete for the top positions in professional gaming? Do you still want to play the game? At this point, it should be clear that those questions don't really matter It doesn't matter where you are on the bell curve, whether you are a superstar, just a regular person, or suck at playing video games. It doesn't matter. The whole point is, if you enjoy playing video games, you should play it. It doesn't matter if you're not doing it correctly. It doesn't matter if you're not optimally following the correct plan that will set you up to be much better than you are. It doesn't matter if you have set goals for yourself when playing. It doesn't matter if you're good. It doesn't matter if your drawing's bad or your gameplay is bad. All of this is baggage that you do not need. Just play the game. And if you enjoy drawing, you should stop wasting time thinking about how to become the best, how to progress the fastest, how to become the next art god. Stop it. None of this matters. If you have fun drawing, just draw.